Thank you. What a treat to be here in Norfolk, Virginia, to be able to formally endorse my good friend Scott Rigell for the United States Congress 2nd District. I've only been working on this now for 14 years. Longer than I dated my wife and asked her to marry me, to be honest, but some people play hard to get. First of all, Jeff, thanks for your service. Jeff is a terrific senator. He really hit the ground running, representing Virginia Beach extremely well on these issues of business and transportation, energy. He was extremely effective out of the blocks, and it's because of his longstanding experience as a business leader and somebody who knows about free enterprise and entrepreneurship and having people live the American dream. He's created a great company, Jeff, so I appreciate your leadership as well in the Virginia Senate. I'm delighted to be here with my running mate and great friend Bill Bowling as well. We've done a lot together over the last 6-7 years traveling the state, and I'm glad that we're both here today in unity to endorse Scott Rigell. First, wonderful to see Terry and some of the daughters and son-in-laws and others who are here today to be here, business partners and others. I appreciate all of you coming for this important reason. I've known the Rigell family for 20 years. They've been dear friends of mine, of my family. So our kids have been friends. But more importantly than that, I think I know that the head and the heart of Scott Rigell. And before you decide who you're going to support in a race, you need to know that a candidate's going to do the right thing when people aren't looking. And that's always my test about who I try to support. And I know Scott is the kind of person who loves public service, who loves helping other people, who loves solving problems, and likes getting things done because of his longstanding involvement as a successful businessman. It's about results, not rhetoric. We have plenty of rhetoric and battles that we see in the United States Congress these days, and I think Scott's the kind of person that will go there, represent his constituents extremely well, cut through the partisanship, and really focus on getting things done and getting results. It's the same type of philosophy that Bill Bowling and I have tried to bring to Richmond, and I believe Scott is ideally suited to represent the people of the 2nd District. First and foremost, he's a Marine. Sergeant in the Marine Corps, 6 years of service. After distinguished service, decided to start the family and go to business school. And he grew up in pretty average middle-class surroundings in Titusville, Florida. Found his way up here to Virginia Beach. And because of that military service and his training, the values that his family gave him, he has grown a car dealership into a tremendous enterprise here in Hampton Roads that has multiple locations. It employs 260 or so people. And that's the kind of leader that we need right now in the United States Congress. We need people who really get it when it comes to what has made this country great. It's not more big government programs. It's not one-size-fits-all solutions out of Washington. Government closest to the people governs best, as Mr. Jefferson said, and as Scott Rigell believes. And his own success in building a business and taking care of people is the secret to his success in the private sector, and I think what will make him a successful congressman. I watched him when I was a brand new candidate in 1991. I went to see Scott and talked to him about running. He was pretty much a brand new businessman in Norfolk, trying to make a go of a car dealership and some tough times, and we were both learning things together. But I watched him as a businessman, not just the fact that he sold a lot of cars, but the way he took care of his people. The way he impressed the mission of service and taking care of your customers on every person, from the new mechanic to the secretary to his executive vice president. Everybody understood the culture of Freedom Forward, that your job was to take care of your customers. If you want to succeed, that's what you have to do. That is a refreshing approach. That's what you need in the United States Congress, people that understand that those 700,000 people that he will represent, those are his customers. They're the taxpayers. They're the owners of the government. They're not just voters that show up every couple of years to elect you. But this is a very important thing, I think, when it comes to deciding who's going to be a member of Congress. And Scott's got that and has lived that now for 20 20 plus years. He's a family man. He's got 4 great kids and a wonderful wife, and he understands what families are going through in these tough economic times. I think many times people go to Washington, they get a little bit out of touch with what the average American family is going through. But Scott's got 4 kids to keep him humble, right?
That's right.
And I think that's very important. I've got 5. I'm a little more humble than Scott. So these are very important things, his love and his care for his wife and his family. But finally, he understands that these principles of limited government and conservative fiscal management of our taxpayers' resources are critically important at this time in the economy. It's not Congress's money. It's the people's money. We are right now in a state in the United States Congress where we have $12 trillion in debt and growing. That's over $100,000 per average American household. 6 times the amount that the average taxpayer has in credit card. That's what the family saddled for in national debt. It's unsustainable. And Scott gets that. He could never run a business that way. That's one of our early discussions that we had. He understands that you've got to keep your fiscal house in order. You've got to run a conservative fiscal policy in the United States government. We can't continue to be a debtor nation. We can't continue to spend more than we have and still leave the blessings of liberty to our children and our grandchildren. Just can't do that. And that's why I'm so glad to be here to support Scott, because on the issues that really matter to the 2nd District, support for the military, fiscal conservatism, customer service, Scott has not only understood it, but he has lived it. I think he'll be a great representative. I tried to get Scott, as I told you, to run for Congress in 1996. And he was working hard with young family, building a business, and he just said it wasn't the time. I said, well, when it's the time, you let me know. And I'm glad to say this is the time in 2010 for Scott to run for Congress. So I'm very honored to be here with my friend Scott Rigell and his great family to say this is the kind of representative we need. I am very optimistic about his chances to win this race and to provide terrific leadership for the citizens of the 2nd District. I lived in the 2nd District for 21 years. I know the people down here. They're good, hardworking people. They depend on business, on tourism, on the military, on good roads, good schools, just the basic things that make a good quality of life. And those are the things that have been important to the Rigell family for 25, 30 years.